Welcome, I'm Max de Kment, the CEO of Saks Coburg and Love It International. My journey, my story. Well, it's very simple. At school, I was the one who always looked out of the window. I didn't really do any of my classes. All I wanted to do was play sport. In fact, we had to see a careers master, and I had to put down 3 things of what I wanted to do when I left school, work-wise. And I put rugby, rugby, rugby. And I got put into detention for it because clearly I wasn't taking career studies seriously. But I was. I trained every day. I did 8 to 10 miles every morning before I went to a very, very Catholic boarding school. We weren't allowed to get up until the lights got put on for us at 7:30 in the morning. But I had special dispensation and I was allowed to get up at 6 in the morning because I'd do my 10-mile run. So I used to train every single day because that's all I wanted to do was rugby. Then unfortunately my parents divorced. My mum had no money, I had to leave school, had to get a job. Unfortunately, rugby union was amateur, so I couldn't get paid for that. So I became a tea-boy in an estate agent's. Now here's the story. I couldn't afford to go on holiday, I had no money, but luckily my girlfriend was an air stewardess and she got free air travel and she got 50% off the Hilton hotel chain. So we went on holiday together and we were in Antigua, in fact in a lovely place called the St. James's Club that I could not afford. It was the best place on the island at the time. And there was this show off at the pool, absolutely showing off. He had a page 3 girlfriend. I still remember, he had a Rolex diamond watch on, and I had a copy from Dubai. All I could afford was a copy. So when I went swimming, I put my watch in my shoe, because if I'd have dived in with it, it would have broken because it wasn't waterproof. And as he got drunker, he told more and more people. He became louder and louder, telling his story. And his story was that he was buying 2 up, 2 down terraced houses in Oldham, which was a very poor part of Manchester at the time, and he was paying between £5,000 and £6,000 for these 2 up, 2 downs. What he would do is change the lounge into a bedroom. The dining room would then become the lounge, so now it's 3 bedrooms. And in those days, he used to get between £30 and £40 for a double room. So each house he'd be getting more or less £100 a week. Well, let's do the maths. £100 a week, that's £5,000 a year. So these houses would pay for themselves in just 1 year. Well, this show-off at the time had 30 of these. And that's why he had a page 3 girlfriend on his arm, because he wasn't the best looking guy. He also was pretty uncouth, and I thought, oh my God, if he can do that, I'm sure I can do better. Now I was a trainee estate agent in Hampton Court, which is East Molesey, it's Richmond basically, it's southwest London. At the time, 2 up, 2 downs in Kingston were about 25,000, and the 3 up, 2 downs were about 30 to 35. So I set about buying as many of them as I could. But how am I going to do that without money? Right, so what I had to do was get a deposit. I got myself 5 jobs. I was a waiter in the Richmond Hill Hotel on a Monday night. Then on Thursdays, Fridays and Saturdays, I worked in a restaurant called Bastian's in Hampton Court that was very posh, and I used to get really great tips. I mean, most nights I'd come out with £20, £30 tips from there. The next door was Alexander's nightclub, and I used to work in the bar in the nightclub as soon as I finished my waiter's job. Very quickly, I saved up a deposit for my first place. In those days, they did 95% mortgages as standard, and they did 100% mortgages, but they just cost a bit more. But with a 100% mortgage, you think, oh, you're borrowing all the money. Well, I got loads of 100% mortgages, but you still had to pay the solicitor's fees and all the costs. It actually cost £600 to buy a house in those days. I bought as many as I could. The first one I bought, I turned the lounge into a bedroom like he had done. So these 3 bedrooms now became 4 bedrooms. But the thing with the houses in Kingston was you had to walk through one bedroom to another, so that wasn't ideal. So I put a little corridor in, make the bedroom smaller. Now what I did for management, this is so simple, but everybody can do it, even today. The double rooms in Kingston at the time were £50 to £60 a week. So I had 3 rooms at £50 a week. Now the little room, I let for a £5. People said, Max, you're mad. You can rent that out for £20, £25. I said, no, all I want's a £5. But his job is to manage the house, collect the rents, and keep it clean. And if I ever turn up and the place is a mess, he's out. So for £5 a week, I used to rent the little room. So let's do the maths. I was getting £155 a week. Well, let's work that out, £700 a month. Well, a 30,000 mortgage at the time cost about 300. So I had positive cash flow of £400 a month. and I had someone rent collecting and looking after the house for me, so I had no fees. Well, that's a no-brainer. If you're making £400 a month, buy as many of them as you can. In those days, I was a junior negotiator. I was on £3,000 a year. So at my first house, I was earning more than my salary. So that's why I ended up owning 500 properties, because it snowballs. Once you've bought one, you've got the positive cash flow, you buy another one. With £400 profit, I could go out and buy 10 houses, and it snowballs and snowballs. My job was just buying property. Now, what's that done for me now? 30 years on, that property I'm telling you about in Portman Road that I bought for 30,000, well, remember, I'm kind of lying, because I didn't pay 30,000, the bank did. I got a 100% mortgage. So I actually paid £500, which was the solicitor's fees and the costs. So that £500 has now turned into, that house is now worth 850,000. And I've added up how much rent I've had in that period, and I've had £175,000 profit in rent. So actually, £500 has turned into £1 million. And I've done nothing. All I've done is wake up every day. I've always had 8-10 holidays a year, and people say, Max, don't you worry about your office? Don't you worry about your stuff? How can you be on holiday all the time? My rule of thumb at the time was earning more money than David Beckham, because his career went like that. And people said, oh my God, look how much money he was earning. And for many years, I was earning more money by waking up than David Beckham. And I loved that story, because prices are going up. So it's the most fantastic business. So just by waking up, you're making money. What do you do? What does everyone do? They have to run to the tube, they have to run for a bus, they've got to drive and get stressy 48 weeks a year to earn money. All I got to do is wake up. That's all I got to do, and everything's going up. I've actually worked out that every property on average has gone up £28,500 a year, year on year. So what's the point of owning one? If you've got 10 of them, well, that's a no-brainer, then that's 228,000. Well, let's do the maths. How about 100? That's 2.2 million. How about 500? You're talking 10 million. 10 million a year just for waking up, and that's ignoring the rental profit. So just do what I do and have a fantastic life. And remember, money doesn't buy you happiness, but it buys you time. And it's with what you do with that time that makes you happy. Do your pastimes, see your family, see your kids grow up instead of going to work every day. Time is what money gets you. Until next time.